Hey everybody, it's Rolly, and I wanted to jump in just to talk about the Soulful Life Hacks. I know that Soulful Life Hacks has been a conversation that I've been having a lot of, and that is simply because the doors are only open for a short period of time. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about why. Like, so why do you want to join? Like, why this particular program over any other program? And so, because there's tons of programs out there, and I know that, and I get it, and I completely understand that. And so, I just wanted to talk about like why this particular program and why do you want to be able to join, especially now at Christmas time, right? So, this is this is one of those times when you are when the bills are heavier and all these things are happening like right now. And I know, and I get it, and I 100% get it. And so one of the reasons is that you get the Hey Francine is that you get the seasonal divinity box. So that is just so you get about $125 worth of products that you get to use to be able to help with your well-being. So that's one of the reasons, but like that's definitely not the main reason. But one of the main reasons, and the main reasons, is that connection where we get to connect with each other on a weekly basis. If you choose, you don't have to do the weekly. There's a lot of other resources that I have available for you to be able to have access to, but it's about having that connection with the other women in the group, and joining and participating with the other women really makes a huge difference as well. And so not only for your for that connection, and because that in itself is priceless. Like being able to connect with other women that get it, that understand exactly where it is that you're coming from, is priceless in itself. And but we get to dive into what are some of the areas that you have been struggling, what are some of the areas that you have had more difficulty with being able to move forward. And so with the different people that have been in different programs, and so including Soulful Life Hacks, is that boundaries is one of those big keywords, right? So having difficulty saying no, having difficulty being able to make sure that you put your own self-care first, and that self-care can look like so many things. And so but just being able to have some conversations around relationships, and figuring out how to be able to navigate through some of the relationships, whether that is personal or using your personal or work or anything like that, is to how to be able to handle some of those situations differently so that you can actually move forward. And so this program really is designed for people who have been trying to navigate this for some time. So it isn't somebody who's just decided like, oh, maybe I've got a problem, and let's kind of explore and see where things are going. And not that it's not necessarily effective for them, because you will still have growth. That is definitely something that will happen. But when we've been trying so many things, and we're like really at that stage where we're stuck, and we want to be able to move forward, and we want to be able to propel forward and do the work. That is the key thing as well, is doing the work. So I've had over the years where I've had clients that have come in and have wanted to do something, and they're looking for a magic solution. And so then we have a session and we do whatever, whether it's a group session or a private session. And then they're like, yeah, okay, but that's going to take a lot of work. And then they don't move forward. And then they feel like, oh, how come I didn't move forward? What is it that's going on? And it really is about being able to do the work. So being able to set your own goals, your own steps, your own, allo Melissa, your own ability as to like, where do you want to be able to take it to next? But one of the things that is huge that through Soulful Life Hacks is that most of us have anxiety. I have yet to meet anybody that is not have anxiety. Doesn't mean that if you don't have anxiety that you can't join, but a lot of the focus is about those worries and being on that hamster wheel of like, how do I get off of that hamster wheel, and how do I actually work through the next step. And sometimes just being able to have that ability of talking something through, and sometimes somebody has a tool that is just a little tiny tweak of something that you've been doing for a long time, and being able to jump in. And so like it's just that little tiny bit of like, oh, then it's like you jump on that particular thing, and it's like, oh, moving through. And you're right, Melissa. So Melissa says it took me so long to take part of a group. My opinion, just join. It's totally worth it. So Melissa is definitely one of our founding members in Soulful Life Hacks, and has grown tremendously in terms of some of the things that from where she was then to where she is now. And obviously I'm not going to share exactly where she's expanded or how she's expanded, because that's entirely because in terms of privacy, that is something that's really important as well. But like Melissa said, it took a long time, right? So that group stuff is like, oh my God, am I ever going to, like, I don't want to have to deal with group stuff, and being able to like they're not going to get me, or like I'm too shy, because that's one of the biggest ones that I hear is like, I'm too shy to be in a group. And so at no point do I ever force you to share. You're always given the opportunity to share, and you're always given the opportunity to be able to pass. And so depending on who is on, depending on what issues are being addressed, sometimes some issues will take a little longer than others. So then sharing is a little more reduced in terms of like number of people for that week. But because we meet every week, then that's something else that is there. And depending on the time zone that you're in, is that we will look at exploring like what day of the week is it, that because currently we do Wednesday evenings in Eastern time. But if we have different people from different time zones, then we will have different dates. It's just coordinated well with the people that have been in the group so far. But it's definitely something that that is worth it. And so why did I design it? I designed it because women kept talking about being stuck all the time and not being able to move forward, and people not understanding or not getting it. And it was just a huge conversation that kept happening, and it was a recurring conversation. And so then it was like, okay, so I need to put something together. And so when I put it together, it was like, okay, so here's my ideas and here's some of the things. And so those who are founding members like Melissa were able to provide some feedback as to, okay, well, what about this? And can we look at this? And that kind of thing. So it has evolved to like all the things that I thought were or were going to be like the most important key things. Those were not the most important key things. The most important key things was connecting with each other in that group and having that relationship and building that relationship. And even as we speak and we actually kind of get ready to move forward, the ones who are in the group right now, a lot of them are like, oh, who knew is coming in? Like, oh no, right? So that anxiety is coming in because they've built a very strong bond with each other. But each time that we have somebody new, we're able to welcome them. We're able to grow with them. And one of the reasons why it's only open for a short period of time is for that specific reason. So for 3 months, no one else comes in. No one new jumps in. So unless somebody's jumped in and signed up and for whatever reason they couldn't make the first couple of sessions, then when they jump in, then they're able to jump in. But if they did not sign up at the beginning, they don't get to come in. And so the closing date is, I have to look at the calendar. So the closing date is the 15th, which is next Wednesday. It's going to be extended a little bit to the 17th, only because I have I'm in another program on Wednesday the 15th. So I'm going to extend it for 2 extra days, simply to be able to give anybody who is in that program the opportunity to jump in, because it is a women's networking program that we're doing on the 15th. And so I don't want to close the doors firmly on that day, but it's going to be for sure firmly closed on Friday. I have to make sure that I let Robin know that I've made that decision so that she's aware. But we're not going to be advertising beyond that. It's only going to be So like if for whatever reason the 15th is like, okay, well, I get paid on Friday, that's going to work for me on Friday. So then that's going to be another opportunity, but it will definitely firmly be closing on the 17th, because we will be starting on the 22nd. So our first opening ceremony will be on the 22nd. But yeah, so like that is definitely what it is that is going on. And I'm super excited to be doing this again. And like I said, I get it. I get how difficult that it is at this time of the year, but I also get how difficult it is for us to be struggling with everything else that's going on. So so when we are feeling completely overwhelmed, this is a safe place where we actually get to not feel overwhelmed. Doesn't mean that the feelings disappear, but we get to feel supported. We're not by ourselves. We have we have everybody there to support each other. And like even in August when my dad had passed, and he was passing in the month of July, and like all the things that were going on, is that even though I wasn't able to be present, and the group was amazing at knowing that I needed to be able to kind of take a step back at that particular moment, but they supported each other. So one of the people that were in the group were really struggling with what was going on in their life at that particular moment, and by the time that I actually got a chance to come and respond, she was already supported. She was feeling connected. Everyone else had already helped prop her up, and not because they helped to deal with any solution and like help her create with any solutions. It was simply just being able to be propped up, simply being able to be supported. And that was what she needed at that particular time. So, so anyway, if you've been on the fence and you haven't been sure and you're not sure what it is that you want to be able to do, I am asking you to like take a look at it, take a look and see whether or not this is something that you that will work for you. And I'm going to so this is anybody who's watching this inside the Facebook group will not be able to see the link. So, but it's HTTPS. Oops. If I can type, we would be doing just fine. And the worst part is typing my own name. Apparently, I can't type my own name. So, Soulful Life Hacks is the program. And so, what I'm going to do is, in case somebody cannot see this, should have copied it before I did that. https://rollyalaire.ca Soulful Life Hacks. And so, like I said, it's definitely something that you want to jump on. And so if it's been something that you've been on the fence for, definitely want to take a look at it and see if this is something for you. And like I said, there's lots of other features that are in there, but the biggest feature, in my opinion, that is helpful, and that's not what I was trying to do, but it's there. So that's apparently that's what I ended up doing. So, but that is the link. So rollyalaire.ca Soulful Life Hacks is how you actually get there and find the information. And so it's definitely worth checking out. And especially if you've been on the fence or you've been really struggling with some different things that are going on. And obviously we can't make all the world's problems go away. That's not the way that it works. That's not the way that life works. However, we can definitely help to support you. And my role is to be able to help you move forward. And so for some people, moving forward means taking leaps and bounds, whereas other people are going to be taking things at a slower pace. And that's okay too. Whatever it is that you need to be doing so that you can move forward is definitely what needs to happen for you. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. And so so definitely share this video out as well. Unless you're inside the Facebook group, you have to go to my page to be able to do that. And but definitely share it and let other people know that that this is happening, because it's definitely worth coming in. So anyway, I will chat with all of you guys later. And on the Divine Crystal Healing Shop page, I'm not sure if it'll be today or tomorrow, but I'm going to be sharing and revealing what has been inside the seasonal divinity boxes that are only open specifically at the same time as Soulful Life Hacks, because they were designed specifically for this particular group. And we opened it up for others to have access to doing the subscription. And at this point, they are still part of that. The subscription is still available outside of Soulful Life Hacks, but just because the goodies that are inside are definitely some pretty intense goodies. So anyway, I will chat with all of you guys later, and bye for now.